I just had a Jehovah's Witness faint on my doorstep. I asked her in. Hello again, honky tonks. Now, if you want to woo a woman, she's an intellectual, she's smart, she's out there, she's into all that, then write her a poem. I used to love writing poems when I was younger. I was always writing limericks, poems, all sorts, funny ones, sad ones, romantic ones, how I felt, etc. And then I lost them all. I even won the odd little award for it, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. But if you truly love a woman, then your love for her will write that poem out itself. Trust me, it works and it's worth doing. It's something you can keep. If you're not really good with words, don't write poems. Now, I know Bono is a multi-billionaire rock star with U2, and I've got to admit, the earlier stuff he did was fantastic. It's great. When I was in Northern Ireland, it was Welcome to the Jungle. No, that was Guns N' Roses, wasn't it? But it was either Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Every time they showed us a Riot video before we did riots in Northern Ireland or Ulster, it was a U2 song, Sunday Bloody Sunday. And the earlier U2 songs were really, really good. Everything past 1990 to now modern, it's absolute shite. And Bono is one of the most insufferable, woke, virtue-signalling wankers on earth in history, in my opinion. Now, between him and the other tosspot, Bob Geldof, they've risen billions for third world countries since the early 80s, Live Aid, etc. Now, they've risen so much money, surely they don't need to be raising any more, do they? But they keep doing it, so what's the bloody point? I mean, you've got this thing for Ukraine now, there's going to be a concert for the Ukraine. You can have a bunch of left-wing comedians. I use the term comedians lightly because they're all woke and progressive. You know what they'll be joking about. There'll be derogatory terms about Trump, Brexiteers, and it'll be political shite. It won't be funny with a load of swear words. That's what lefty comedians are like now. They're doing that. They're doing all sorts for Ukraine. It's just mass virtue signalling. And on top of that, you've got celebrities saying, we're going to take in Ukrainian refugees. They don't have to say anything. If you're going to take them, take them. And then you've got normal people now, I say normal, woke lefties, on the street. They're saying, oh, we're taking in, there's a big newspaper article somewhere the other day saying, we're a family of 6, but we're taking in 11 Ukrainian refugees because we're better than anyone else. It's sad, it's bad. These poor people, these Ukrainians, displaced people, they're not fashion accessories, all right? People should stop using them as a political tool to promote themselves. It's shameful, it really is. Plus, people like Bono and Bob Geldof, they've got various houses, they've got loads of houses. Surely they could fit in several Ukrainian families into these big mansions, couldn't they? Do you think they will? Will they fuckery? And as for the Irish people, they hate Bono anyway, because during the Irish austerity a few years ago, he put all his money into offshore bank accounts. I mean, Jesus, what a cunt. So anyway, Bono has written a limerick, a poem. It's laughable. Well, I'll read it to you. But first, I'll read you this tweet that he sent using his official Twitter twat blue tick verified account. So everyone knew that he'd done it, basically. Self-promotion, that's what he's like. This is what he wrote. I've a tradition of sending a limerick to Speaker Pelosi. That's Nancy Pelosi, by the way. Old Skeletor Democrat herself. I think, and I truly believe, that Nancy Pelosi is pure evil. So the tweet goes on. To Speaker Pelosi's St. Patrick's Day lunch over the years, this limerick is irregular and not funny at all. It is. Believe me, trust me, it's funny. It really is funny. We stand with the people of Ukraine and their leader. It wasn't written to be published. Of course it was. He wanted this published because it gets him associated with trying to do something for the Ukraine. The shameless self-publicist that he is. But since it's out there, here it is, Bono. So he's been sending limericks to Nancy Pelosi to read out every St. Patrick's Day. I want these published, all right? I really do, because after reading what he's just written for the Ukraine, I reckon they're just as bad. they're quite shite, actually. I know he's a multi-billionaire rock star. His albums and songs have made billions around the world. He's sold out concerts, and he's beloved by fans, etc. And fair play to him, having a career like that and being successful. However, reading this poem, this limerick, I'll tell you what, I'll just read. Oh, St. Patrick, he drove out the snakes with his prayers, but that's not all it takes. For the snake symbolises an evil that rises and hides in your heart as it breaks. And the evil has risen, my friends, from the darkness that lives in some men. But in sorrow and fear, that's when saints can appear to drive out those old snakes once again. And they struggle for us to be free. Free from what? What's stopping Bono from being free and gallivanting around the world, being everyone's saviour? I don't know. From the psycho in this human family. Island sorrow and pain is now the Ukraine, and St. Patrick's name now Zelensky. Now then, what do you make of that? That sounds and looks like it was written by a 10-year-old for a school poem competition, and he'd have come last with that. That was terrible. That doesn't show Bono to be a great song lyricist, writer. That shows him to be... It's pathetic, it really is. If I was the president of a country that got invaded by another one and I was desperate for the help I could get, I would denounce that poem. I'd say, I've got a clue who Bono is, nothing to do with me. That's pathetic. He's writing about somewhere else, isn't he? Isn't he writing about Wales or something? Aren't they oppressed by the English? Now that poem, that limerick, just proves that Bono is a man with a giant God complex, a huge ego, and he's just made a clown of himself on the world stage with a horrifically terrible poem. That was embarrassing. That really was. Wasn't intended to be published. He intended that very well to be published so people can fawn over him and Putin could be terrified of him. No, probably not. But there we go. Bono. Still an arsehole. Bono is a twat, as the old Viz magazines used to paint him. It was quite funny. Dear me, whatever next. And that's it. That's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If you wish to support my channel, by all means, you can buy me a beer. The link is down below. And until my next one, Roger Trout.